This podcast is for entertainment and commentary purposes only. The views expressed by the hosts and guests are their own and do not reflect any organizations or affiliates. This show may contain adult language and mature themes. Listener discretion is advised. Portions of media may be used under fair use for commentary and criticism. Nothing discussed on this podcast should be taken as professional, legal, or financial advice.
Is good. Welcome to the JM and Digz podcast, episode 4. I didn't think we were going to make it here, Digz. I really didn't think we were just going to last this long.
I did not either. I figured one show, then done.
Yeah, we made a full month's worth of episodes, and I don't see any sign of us slowing down. I don't know about you, Digz.
No, sirree.
But yeah, we got a great podcast for you here today. We're going to be introducing our new sports correspondent to help me with some other sports, but obviously we're also going to be recapping the Super Bowl. Unfortunately, I have the great privilege to do that. And then, of course, Digz, you're going to be doing your final cut. What are you doing your final cut today for?
Today is going to be Terrifier.
Terrifier, all right. All right, before we get into it, shout out to everybody that is in chat. I did see Famcast Media over there on YouTube, Kicking Wings, Ryan Lemmy, and Strange Dabs all chilling over there on Twitch. I appreciate you guys being in here. We're finally implementing, Digz, the shared chat on Twitch. Everybody that does not know, Digz is trying to get his affiliate. He's trying to get a sub button over there on the Twitch. Make sure you guys are following him. Make sure you get off my Twitch channel. I don't need it right now. Go to his Twitch channel and watch the pod. Get him as many views as he can possibly get. Get him the chatters he needs to get. Help my boy out, get his sub button. That's what we're trying to do. So for the next month, we're going to be making sure Digz's Twitch is getting advertised, getting used, and that way we know my boy's going to get his sub button. So that's the goal going forward. But anyway, Digz, are you ready to go?
Let's go.
All right. So, unfortunately, we're going to start the show with the Super Bowl. All right. I understand the Super Bowl was 5 days ago, but we gotta review this. We gotta go into this. Here we are, two Patriot fans, and we have to admit defeat. We have to admit defeat. I mean, it is what it is. So in case you lived under a rock, Super Bowl 60 happened this past Sunday, and the Seattle Seahawks defeated the New England Patriots 29-13. Now, it wasn't as bad of a blowout as last year's Super Bowl, but it still hurts. And hats off to Seattle, and obviously the Patriots got a lot of work to do before they get back to a winning team that's going to do it all and be considered a dynasty. But anyway, we'll go right into the stats. Sam Darnold threw 19 completions on 38 attempts for 202 yards and a touchdown, while Drake May completed 27 passes on 43 attempts for 295 yards and 2 touchdowns. But he also threw 2 interceptions. And I actually just forgot about this. Did he lose a fumble as well?
Yeah.
I think he lost a fumble also, didn't he?
Yeah, at the end of the game?
I think so. I'm not positive. It got to be so bad that it was hard to watch at a certain point. But I think he also lost a fumble. And the New England rushing game was pretty much non-existent. Drake May, Ramondre Stevenson, Trayvon Henderson, they all combined for the Patriots offense, 79 rushing yards on 18 combined attempts. That's 3 people. 3 people. So keep that stat in your mind as I finish this recap, because that stat right there compared to the next stat I hit you guys with, you're going to be like, what the hell? So just remember that. So we move on to the key game changers. Drake May's 2 picks and 6 sacks. Obviously, a big game changer. We even got an image that's going to show you what Drake May kind of had to deal with all night. Sanchez, can you bring that up? That right there is the definition of a bad fucking night. Right there. That's a bad.
Sums it all up.
That sums that literally sums up the entire fucking game. Even though I got more pitches lined up, but that sums up the game right there. Like, it was bad. Besides that, you can also go and give all the props and all the deserved credit you possibly can. Give the credit to the Seattle defensive line, especially the defense in its entirety was locked in, but the defensive line was incredible. And here's another great shot of how the Patriots' day was going with that defensive line. Another shot with Drake May in the background. And, oh my God.
He seemed to be comfortable there.
You just see this picture screams how the separation of team we were getting in this game. Like, we were literally getting just dominated by this defense. And if you guys remember a week ago in last week's episode of the podcast, I actually broke down the key points I thought that it would take for the Patriots to win and the key points I thought it would take for the Seahawks to win. And every Seahawks point I hit went true. I don't know if I jinxed the Patriots by bringing up those points or what, but the Seahawks did everything I thought they would do to win, and the Patriots had no response for any of it.
See, they listened to the podcast and they got some ideas.
Yo, maybe they did. I don't know. Maybe they fucking did. I don't know. But on top of that, yeah, so just going pretty much what I'm saying. And the New England's offensive line was overwhelmed, especially the left side, the rookie side, they're calling it now. Left tackle Will Campbell, left guard Jared Wilson, just getting absolutely destroyed by the Seattle's pass rush. They just could not make the adjustments and could not figure a way to stop these blitz packages and to be on the same page. And I think the number one thing, well, it's not the number one thing, but it's a big thing in this game is, and we're going back to the Seattle side of things, Sam Darnold's poise in the pocket under pressure, avoiding sacks, keeping his eyes down the field, making tough throws under duress. This is the stuff that made Sam Darnold be able to stay in this game, keep his offense in the game. He was looking so comfortable in that pocket, even under pressure. The offensive line held up for him. Like, they really were just locked in and in the zone, and I was so impressed with Sam Darnold's play. Also, shout out to my boy Lemmy here, who's a Jets fan. He's in chat right now. And Lemmy, how do you feel having your former quarterback look that good in the Super Bowl? That must fucking just go right up your ass. That's crazy. But damn, bro. But the final thing that really the key game changer is the man, now the myth and the legend, Kenneth Walker III. And let's go back to those stats I brought up to you earlier, right? Remember I said earlier.
It was 79?
No. It was Drake May, Ramondre Stevenson, and Trayvon Henderson. All three of them combined for 79 rushing yards on 18 attempts. All right? Kenneth Walker III ran for 135 rushing yards and 27 carries, was enough to not just help his team win another Lombardi trophy, but he carried himself to become the Super Bowl MVP. Super Bowl 60 MVP is running back Kenneth Walker III. If you remember last week's episode, the number one thing I said for the Patriots to do to win is you have to stop Kenneth Walker III, and they did not do that. They did not do that. He was a menace on the ground. Even though he didn't score, 135 yards in the Super Bowl is crazy, and I will get you an MVP award, definitely. Incredible. But how many New England fans do you think were smashing their TVs after the Super Bowl? Honestly, we were kind of like, I don't know. It depends on what type of fan. A bandwagon fan, yeah, they probably all smashed their TVs. Anyone that bet on the game that wasn't a New England fan but bet on New England because The payout would have been bigger. They smashed their TVs.
That was the funny thing. I was about to.
I live streamed my reaction that day on Sunday on Twitch. My response was more just, I was more like just depleted. I guess that would be the best word. But yeah, I mean, I can see diehard fans also smashing their TV and shit like that. But Lemmy said it doesn't bother me. He was dealt a bad hand being drafted by the Jets. He continued his career through 2 more teams and won it in his third. Doesn't matter where you start, only where you finish. Yeah, good point, Lemmy. And that's a very responsible way to look at it. Especially the guy was in his backyard, but yeah, I mean, I was very impressed with Sam Darnold on Super Bowl Sunday. That guy looked like a stud. He did. He definitely looked like a stud. And also, congratulations to Kenneth Walker III on being the 60th Super Bowl MVP. Congratulations to him. And the Super Bowl ratings, dude. I guess they were not record-breaking, but close to. Rating 124.9 million viewers, second most after last year's that had 127.7 million. Viewership peaked in the second quarter at 137.8 from the 7-minute 45-second mark to
7 p.m.
Oh, from 7:45 p.m. to 8 p.m. Oh, okay. All right. So yeah, big ratings for the Super Bowl. Even though I think, what's crazy though, I'm not gonna lie. I think the last 2 years of the Super Bowl have been lackluster games. If you want to be honest,
I agree. I think everything has been.
Well,
like the whole Super Bowl as a whole, like the commercials, the halftime.
Oh, the presentation.
The game safe.
Well, I don't know. I think I've been watching sports long enough where I know that bullshit's part of it. I just gotta deal with it. And honestly, the Super Bowl commercials aren't that much worse than a regular NFL games commercials during the season, right? Because like the commercials are pretty bad no matter what game you watch. I think the halftime show makes it longer, maybe adds a couple more commercial breaks, but yeah, I don't really know. But from the dungeon, so you're telling me the halftime show had more views than the actual Super Bowl? Do we have those stats? Can we look up those stats? That's actually a great question. Bro, they said it was like 10 million in commercial. Oh, yeah, definitely for the Super Bowl. 10 million commercial, definitely.
The halftime show performance average 128.2 viewers between 8:15 and 8:30. This is a 3.6% drop from last year's halftime show.
Oh, so this year's halftime show didn't do as well as last year's because there was a lot of controversy behind it.
Then they also had that Kid Rock one going on too.
Wait, so how did that work? What was the Kid Rock one?
I have no clue. I didn't know that was happening until Super Bowl day.
So what? He did a halftime show on a different channel or some shit?
I think so.
That's like weird.
They had 124.9 million viewers. Sorry.
When it was aired, because Sanchez just said it only had. Wait, what was the stats? What was the stats, Sanchez, on the other one? Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to talk about this another day. I mean, honestly, to me, like, so I think a lot of people are going to tune in and think we're going to talk about this. I think a lot of people are thinking that we were going to talk about the Super Bowl halftime show this week, and I just want everyone to know, and this is an honest opinion of mine. I can't speak for Digz or anybody else, but I don't watch halftime shows on Super Bowls. Like, that's my time to piss, shit, eat, have a cigarette, walk my dog, whatever the fuck I got to do. I do it during, because I take advantage of the fact that the halftime's longer, and I do not even watch the halftime show. I really don't.
It's on in the background for me, but I'm doing other things.
Right. Like
this year, I walked away. I couldn't be in this room.
I okay. So 5 million viewers live on a pre-recorded event. Oh, that's interesting. That sucks compared to the Super Bowl, obviously, but Super Bowl is always going to get the views because people are just going to leave those on TVs. Like, how many businesses just turn TVs on to the Super Bowl and leave it on for the 4 hours it's on or whatever it is? You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't that also help to the viewership and the ratings? All the TVs that just stay on because they're a business and they're going to stay on.
Or bars with multiple TVs.
Right. All that type of shit. Doesn't it all affect the viewership? How many TVs are not being viewed during the Super Bowl? That too. So I don't know. That's
It goes out because all the people at parties on the one TV.
yeah. I mean, that's kind of my take on it, but I mean, that's just my take on it. But anyway, anyone else got anything else you want to talk about Super Bowl?
No. Let's kind of put this behind us.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
On to the next year.
It's been a tough week.
I'm proud of them though.
But anyway, the Super Freak said I like the commercials. Anyway, we're moving on. But anyway, we got to introduce the newest member to the podcast. He's going to be our sports correspondent to kind of help us because with football season ending, I'm going to need some help going through some other sports because I'm a diehard football head, but I don't know as much about basketball, and I really know little about baseball. And then we're also going to hope to eventually get a hockey correspondent in, but I haven't really talked to him about that yet. That's somebody else. But anyway, we'd like to introduce our newest correspondent to the show via call from the Bronx in New York. My man Toshio.
Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
What's going on, guys?
What's going on, buddy?
This is me, man. I'm here live in the Bronx.
There you go.
So I want to excuse everyone. I want to apologize if you hear anything in the background, like sirens or anything like that.
All right, so we're just gonna get into it, Tosh. I mean, you're here mainly to help me with like basketball and baseball, but I mean, mainly everything we're gonna be covering this episode is gonna be baseball. You got a lot of baseball. I know basketball. Sorry, basketball. A lot of NBA and basketball highlights, headlines to cover. So, get right into it. I'll jump in when I feel like it, but yeah, let's just get through what you got. We're gonna have to be recapping kind of a lot because we haven't done any basketball on this podcast at all. So anybody that's a basketball fan, we're gonna be catching up on some old shit. So just kind of stay tuned with us, ride it through with us. But yeah, Toshi, it's all yours.
All right, man. First of all, I just want to say appreciate you for having me on the show.
No problem.
And also I want to say you guys should be proud of the New England Patriots. A lot of people didn't expect you guys to make this far. So,
we didn't expect to make it that far.
Exactly. So you should be proud. You guys got
we are.
You got a bright future ahead of you guys.
Yeah, we're just waiting we just got to see where the team goes from here because you go to the Super Bowl and you make some change. You're gonna have to make some changes in the offseason, so it won't be the same team next year.
Nah, I'm kidding. All right, so I got a few things I want to talk about. So we got trade deadline that just passed, and then we have the All-Star weekend that actually starts tomorrow. We got a bunch of other stuff that I want to talk about. At least for me, what's important. But I'm talking about the trade deadline. So for anybody who doesn't really know about trade deadline, who doesn't follow basketball like that, this is basically where teams have their last chance to fix stuff before the playoffs. After that, whatever you got, that's it. You roll with that. So real quick, I'm going to get into James Harden, who went to the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, you hear that and everybody reacts, oh my God, that's crazy, And yeah, on paper, it sounds crazy. It sounds wild. But if we're actually real about this, Harden's been in a lot of teams already, and at
Yeah,
this point,
I gotta interfere. Like Harden to me hasn't really played like James Harden since where'd he go after OKC? I forgot. Was it the Rockets? Yeah, the Rockets. So I think
no, he went to the Nets. I think, I believe.
he went to the Nets, then the Rockets.
Yeah, he went to Brooklyn Nets, and that's where he teamed up with Kevin Garnett. I mean, not Kevin Garnett. Sorry, Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant and
Kyrie Irving.
yeah, Kyrie Irving. I just don't think like I don't know. I kind of agree with Sanchez said it in my ear. He was like the Rockets. I don't think James Harden's been shit since the OKC days, since the Rocket days. He obviously had some good moments in the Nets days, but he used to dominate with the Rockets, bro. He was like the guy there. And then
Well, he just got out of the Rockets. He just got traded to the Cavaliers.
yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. So
He's been. I mean, in all his career, he's been dominant. But a lot of people make it seem like, oh, we got Harden, and that's gonna take the team to the next step. But it hasn't been the case in any team that he's been with. So
right.
that's what I'm saying. Everybody reacts to the story of him going to a different team, but on paper, it sounds crazy.
Now, I'm not like fully inversed in what's going on in the NBA, but so I remember, was it a year or two ago? Like Cleveland was like a real team. They like built a good team.
Well, last year they were really good.
All right, so how far? This is the best question for people that are not into basketball. How far are we in the season, and how good are they now?
We're at the halfway point because the All-Star week is coming up.
Okay, all right.
At the halfway point.
So halfway through the year, and this trade happens, which
It's
adds.
it's one of the many trades, but this is like one of the ones that are up there.
What
Okay.
did they get for him though?
I'm sorry.
What they get for him in the trade?
I don't remember, but it wasn't nothing crazy. I got to look into that. Sanchez, if you can double text me.
All right. While he does that, though, what else is going on?
So I just feel like I said, everybody thinks is a crazy trade, but he's been in a lot of teams. But I feel like at this point, Cleveland just bought the name instead of the dominance. Um, I feel like Cleveland feels the pressure, and they think they're close.
So you think he's going to sell jerseys but not perform on the court?
A little bit of both, but this is. I feel like I don't know. I'm not too convinced with the signing or the trade when it comes to Cleveland. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't officially make them a scary team just because they added Harden.
Right.
So Okay, so yeah, that's one of their best players.
Just repeat that for them.
What was the name again?
There.
So they traded Darius Garland for James Harden.
All right.
So that works. I don't know.
Darius Garland is a pretty good player.
He is. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
so
kind of what we're trying to identify.
I just don't see it. I don't see why they would do that, but I'm not behind those doors to really say it.
All right. Well, let's go. Let's just keep pounding through it. We got.
All right, so now we're gonna go with the Milwaukee Bucks. The fact that the Milwaukee Bucks aren't even in playoff position right now, for me, it's kind of crazy. Especially when you remember, not too long ago, I think like last year they were in it. They were contenders, and a huge part of it was because of Giannis. But now I feel like he's getting hurt a lot. So I feel like when he plays, Milwaukee matters. But when he doesn't, everything looks a little bit shaky.
And that really is the truth of it, though. Like Giannis hasn't like done shit since his Super Bowl. I mean NBA title. Sorry, crossing sports. Apologize. Since his NBA title, he was dominant that year.
I mean, he's still dominant this year, but injuries are keeping him off the court.
Yeah, and you don't want that from your star player.
Absolutely, especially your top player.
Exactly.
But yeah, like I don't know, the offense looks different. Energy looks different. The confidence as a whole looks different.
Okay.
They went from talking championships to just trying to stay in the picture. And then you had the whole I don't know if you know about this, but they had the whole distraction of Giannis being traded. So
Which
that's been floating around, which for
to
me is
me,
crazy.
yeah, so that goes back to like a couple years ago
It's from last summer.
no, I'm actually like, if you trade Giannis from the Bucks, I'm thinking like when
Total rebuild.
no what's it, Doncic got traded from the Nets.
Oh, you're talking about Luca.
Luka, yeah.
Yeah, but that trade was weird to me. They
Well, no,
traded.
well, actually,
There's a whole thing that was going beyond that.
yeah, I heard that the owner was kind of I heard the old average owner of the Mavs is trying to buy it back now.
Mark Cuban.
Yeah. He's trying to. He's gonna.
He sold it?
Yeah, he sold it.
Oh, he sold it years ago. That's
Yeah.
when the team's in the gutter, bro. And then
I don't pay attention to anything NBA.
so the chick that owns it now, she inherited the company through her husband that died, I believe, and she owns a bunch of casinos. Her biggest one in Las Vegas, and the rumor is she tried to trade Luca, or she traded Luca only to try to like snowball the success of the Mavericks, so she could make the excuse to move it to Vegas.
Well, I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
And then it's funny because now this year after this year in the offseason in the NBA, the vote is up for an expansion team. They're trying to bring back the Seattle Sonics, Supersonics, and they're going to be trying to bring back the
What's
Vegas.
crazy? I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you. What's crazy about that is that the Seattle Supersonics turned into the Oklahoma City Thunders.
Right. They're going to bring it back though, and it's going to be kind of like, so it's kind of similar to the NFL. The original Cleveland Browns moved to Baltimore and became the Ravens, and then they eventually came out with an expansion team named the Cleveland Browns. So that's how it is in the NFL. So technically, if this happens, yeah, the original Supersonics are the Oklahoma City Thunder, but there'll be a Seattle Supersonics again. So
yeah,
and then what that does is cause an immediate rivalry, because then you got the original franchise versus the expansion franchise.
right.
So that's that. I feel like that's good for competitive sports, no matter when they do that. But all right, continue, brother.
But yeah, so it's crazy to think that they want to trade him. And a few years ago, if you would have said something like this, you would have been like, "That's crazy." But they never traded him, so that's good. They decided they wanted to keep him. They could have reset. They could have done a whole rebuild mode, but instead they just decided, they're gonna ride with Giannis. So that kind of tells you they still believe, but it also tells you that the Leafs kind of smell vulnerability.
Yeah.
But throughout this whole thing, they ended up signing someone named Cam Thomas. But for me, that just feels like a luxury pickup. Doesn't feel it feels like a survival. That's them saying, "Yo, we need buckets right now, so we're just trying to stay afloat until Giannis comes back because he's injured right now."
How long is he supposed to be out for?
I'm not sure. Yeah, I think he should be back either this week or next week. So, yeah.
All right, let's do this Piston Hornets fight, and then let's go right to the All-Star weekend, and then see how much time we have left after that.
Yes, but how do I start this? So obviously there was
it's the game I wanted to talk about, right?
You talking about the Pistons and the
Is that the
Hornets?
Is that the same game where 4 guys got ejected?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was a bunch of shit going on. It was jerseys getting grabbed, everybody's yelling, refs bringing in, security coming out. It was a whole big thing. Um, I, 4 players end up getting ejected. After the game, Dirk basically said most were high, and it was an overly competitive game. But honestly, it feels like it was. It was just dudes competing hard, nobody backing down, egos involved. Breach even said during putting his hands in Diabate's face was disrespectful, and that was really, what set it off. But that's the NBA sometimes, a lot of people.
Emotions get
I don't know.
better of them.
For me, I don't watch NBA like Tosh does and other people do, but like for me, what was crazy about this was just the fact that I remember Malice at the Palace and
Oh yeah, I remember that.
the fight that broke out there.
But that was it started off with the players and then it went into the fans.
Yeah, but obviously, that's years ago. Like fast forward to nowadays, and you got a lot of security, a lot of police presence in the stadiums. But still, man, those 4 players could have easily made that an entire like riot. It was getting there, but a shout out to NBA officials, stadium security, and the police. They kind of like quieted a lot of that down real quick. But it got nasty. It was getting really violent. These guys were really trying to kill each other out there. It was crazy. But yeah, I think that was the biggest highlight I saw from the NBA this week. And it was actually funny because when me and Tosh were talking this week, I was like, "You got to mention that." It wasn't even on
crazy.
Your
list. It was a crazy battle.
Right, and it wasn't even on your list though. You were like, "Okay, I'll bring it up."
I know, yeah, because I wasn't prepared to bring that up, but you brought it up, so I decided to bring it up.
All right, so yeah, let's just get right into All-Star Weekend. What are you seeing going on? Well, explain to everybody that doesn't know what the All-Star Weekend entails, and then what do you take from it? Because honestly, if this is anything like the NFL Pro Bowl, like this, like me and Digz could have talked about the Pro Bowl on this podcast. We just chose not to because like the Pro Bowl's like a joke now. It's like a skill challenge and a flag football game,
and that's where I'm on board with you when it comes to the NBA All-Star Weekend. So for those who don't know, the All-Star Weekend is just the All-Star game. You got the celebrity game, which I think starts tomorrow. You got the Rising Stars, which is the rookies
and sophomores, like
sophomores.
Second-year players. Yep.
Yeah, and then you got the skills challenge, you got the dunk contest, and then you also got the 3-point contest.
Can I ask you a question? Like, so what's bigger now, in your opinion? Because like I remember
as far as the All-Star Weekend.
No. Just out of these 2 contests you got the dunk contest and the 3-point contest. Back in our day when we were growing up, dunk contest was
dunk contest. Yeah. So now I feel like now for like the past few years it's been a 3-point contest. Like the dunk contest has been lackluster.
Yeah, okay.
In my POV.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But so it's basically your whole weekend of just vibes, I guess. The actual All-Star game is on Sunday night, I think around 8 p.m. Eastern. But this is where the old head comparison comes in real quick for me. So I grew up watching the All-Star games in the 90s.
Yep, me too.
So back in the days, those games meant something.
When everybody
you had dudes like Michael Jordan, you had Pippen, Shaquille O'Neal,
but he was
Gary Payton, and Patrick Ewing, just to name a few.
Okay,
the '90s had a few people, but those are the ones that could come up.
Let me say this real quick. The greatest thing with the All-Star game back in the day for me in the 90s, everybody wore their actual team jersey, like their actual team uniform.
Yep.
So if you were on one side of the All-Star game, you wore your away or your home jersey, and then if you're on the other side, you wore your away. So it was colors versus whites.
Right.
And oh man, that was like when the All-Star game. That's when the All-Star game was fucking fresh, dude. Like that was so different than what we get nowadays.
Right. But yeah, so off the off the those names that I just named, those are just some of the few. Obviously there was more throughout the '90s, but those just some of the ones I could come up with.
Yeah, I get you.
But those dudes weren't just pulling up just to smile at the cameras. They
No,
were they were actually there competing.
they wanted to
There
win.
was defense, there was hard fouls, egos. Egos were on the line. Nobody wanted to get cooked on national TV. You know,
No.
but now it just feels like an open gym with cameras.
Well, it's also I think too they're all too worried about getting hurt. They want to continue their season.
Right.
And also this is the thing with the NBA that I never understood with the All-Star weekend. It's like smack dab in the middle of the season. The best players really don't get the rest that like the other players get. Like what? Oh, I think we had a hiccup there. What I don't understand is though, is what actually like shit, I lost my train of thought. I got distracted. I think we lost connection for a second.
We did for a second, yes.
Yeah, right. I'm tripping.
It's the Bronx Wi-Fi.
All right, yeah. So the big thing is like the big difference I was trying to say is like all these players are trying to make sure they don't get hurt. And why is the All-Star game in the middle of the season? Why don't you put the All-Star game the week before, find a game, find a day before the finals start where you can get an All-Star game in, or why don't they give the teams that are in the finals a week off, like this, like the NFL does for the Super Bowl, and then spend that week doing the All-Star week, and then let the finals happen after. So that way, all the players that are in the All-Star week.
Is it a week or a weekend?
It's a weekend.
It's just a weekend, so it's from Friday to Sunday.
But they could change it. They could do the same thing. They could just change it, and then like they could make it a week. And
You're right. I don't know, Sanchez, if you could look up the reason why, but
you're not gonna be.
It's always been in the middle of the season,
You're
which
not
is
gonna be
weird
able,
to me.
You're not gonna be able to Google that. That's not gonna be an answer. The NBA is.
No, I don't know, but I just feel like I said, it just feel like an open gym with cameras. It's all about vibes, highlights, and just branding. For example, you got Damian Lillard. He's doing a 3-point contest. Mind you, this guy hasn't played a game this season.
Wow.
Right. And don't get me wrong, Damian Lillard is a star.
He's nice. He's nice. Yeah.
Yeah, but that tells you what All-Star Weekend is now. It's about names.
Yeah. They're trying to.
Meanwhile, I might butcher this guy's name.
That might be a selling point. That might be a selling point. It's like, oh, you haven't seen him all year. He's gonna be at All-Star Weekend.
There you go. See.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you got fucking guys, and I might butcher his name. You got Alperen Sengun. He finally gets an All-Star nod. Don't get me wrong, it's dope, but he only got it because of an injury.
Yep.
So it's kind of hard for the new guys to get real shine.
Hold on.
I don't know if you want to touch up on that.
Okay. So the information we just got from Sanchez is, so the reason they time the All-Star weekend, and this actually makes a lot of sense now that I hear that, they time it right after the Super Bowl. So that's actually very smart on their behalf. I actually give them credit for that.
Right.
But I do not understand a league, or in the NBA's, name, association, why would you risk some of your best players in a game like that when you could get a better quality game out of them at the end of the year, right before the finals, and then the only players that don't play in it are the people in the finals?
Yeah. I mean, this is why there's a lot of complaints about certain people who choose not to play in the All-Star game, and a lot of fans don't like that because they want to see certain players be in the All-Star game.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's a weird thing.
But even in NHL, it's in the middle of the season.
Yeah, it's very similar in the NHL. That's right. We'll touch more on the NHL coming up too. I got to figure out how we're going to do that, but Yeah, I kind of want to get every major sport involved in the pod going forward, and hockey's definitely one of the big ones I want to include.
Hockey, I'll have more to say than basketball.
I'll be trying to get into hockey. I don't know. I just can't.
Yeah, well, I got somebody in mind to help us with that, but we'll see what happens
Yeah, I
going
know.
forward. But all right, wrap this up, and then I think it's time to get into Diggs' final cut after that.
All right. Well, I mean, I can't talk about basketball if I don't talk about the Knicks. You know, I'm a big, huge Knicks fan,
There you go.
so I got to get into this. So Knicks right now are actually looking really legit right now, and for me, it starts with Jalen Brunson. He's not a flashy player. He just controls the game. He gets to his spot. He makes the right reads. Late in games, he's like, "All right, this game is mine," you know. And for me, that's leadership. He might
So
not be like a highlight reel superstar, but he's functional. He runs the team like one as well. So, and honestly, for me, that's just scarier. Um, but we'll see because playoffs is going to tell the real story. Who sets up? Who steps up when Brunson gets trapped? You know, who's going to be
yeah.
the second guy to the take over when he's struggling?
Do you have a guy you think that will be that guy if they have to be?
On the Knicks.
Yeah.
Oh man, I as much as I hate to admit it, I would say Carl Anthony Towns. He needs to step up.
And he's been in the league for a long time.
He's been in there for a few years. But yeah, but I need him. He's really good offensively, but I need him to step up defensively. So yeah, if not him, it has to be Carl Anthony Towns. He's the only reason why they brought him in is to take off the load off of Jalen Brunson.
Yeah, all right. Hold on. I had to look this up because you said he's been there for a few years. Bro, he was the first overall pick in 2015. It's 11 years ago.
Yeah, he's been there for a while.
Oh, you said a few years. I'm just like,
Well, I mean, yeah, all right, a few years, whatever. You know,
this guy's
time flies, and when you get older,
this
time
guy's a
just flies, and you
veteran.
don't even just realize how
This guy's a veteran. He's been in this league for
yeah,
over
he
a
is.
decade.
But yeah,
It's like when you go out and say you only gotta have a few shots, you end up with 12.
That's the truth. That's the truth.
but yeah, I don't know. It just let's see what happens. At the same time, you got dudes like Cooper Flag, who's from the Mavericks. You got Stephon Castle, who's from San Antonio. These are young guys. They're already coming up, but nobody really talks about them. So I don't know. When you zoom out, this is what the league feels like right now to me. You got teams making desperate moves. Giannis hurt, plus trade rumors. Milwaukee fighting for air. Competitiveness spilling over. All Star Weekend selling vibes, and you got veterans controlling headlines and young players waiting their turn. It just feels like the NBA is stuck between eras.
Definitely. I think the fan base is definitely the ones that cause that too, because you got such a different aspect of generation. Everyone is proud of the generation they grew up watching, and the older generation is always going to holds the seasons that the younger generation didn't get to see against them.
Right.
So.
So my takeaway simple. It's simple. Trade deadline tells you who believes. Moments like that fight show how intense this league still is. And All Star tells you who sells. And the playoffs, well, I don't know. That's when all the talking stops. So that's when we find out who's real.
Yep. Gotcha. All right. Well, Tosh, I appreciate you being an addition to the podcast and coming in and helping us with the NBA. And in the future, you're going to be helping us with the MLB as well, right?
Yep. Hopefully,
we might.
I don't get fired by tonight.
We might have that as early as next week because.
Is there a contract I need to sign? I don't know.
Not anymore.
Oh, you guys talk to Sanchez about that. I don't hear
All
that.
right, Sandra, I'll talk to you after this. You know, Rizzo got it.
But yeah, next week our episode lands on the 19th, and
Both got something.
we talked about this before the pod. Isn't it the 20th spring MLB spring training happens or
it's spring training slash
first game.
yes,
Pre-
the
Spring
preseason.
training. They officially showed up this week for.
Okay. So yeah, next week's gonna be real for MLB. So we're gonna have to talk about some baseball next week.
For real, not real. It's just practice.
Also, there might be a chance we have a guest next week, but I haven't sealed that deal yet. We might be talking about some other stuff, but we might be having a special guest next week, so we'll see if that happens. But that's the type of stuff to look towards next week. But anyway, I think it's that time of the day.
One second.
What?
With basketball, the Super Bowl, we missed one big major thing.
What happened?
The Puppy Bowl had its biggest viewing in 8 years with 15.3 million viewers.
Oh my God, the Puppy Bowl. You know what's fucking crazy that he brought that up? I was at a bar the day of the Super Bowl, and it was on TV. I actually got to watch that a little bit.
Can't believe you guys were just going to glance over that.
The Puppy Bowl? Come on, bro. Actually, you remember back in the 90s, the Puppy Bowl had a whole different meaning. Just want to bring that up, all right? The Puppy Bowl had a whole different meaning in the 90s. Just trying to bring that up real quick. Anyway, Digz, let's go. Digz final cut. Let's get it going.
All right. So today we're doing Terrifier. Fortunately, someone...
Wait, hold on. Say it again.
Tonight we're doing Terrifier.
There we go.
Unfortunately, someone doesn't know how to do homework.
Nah, I didn't do my homework this week, guys. My homework assignment by Digz was to watch Terrifier. Did not get to it. Watched a bunch of Star Trek, but did not watch Terrifier.
If it makes it feel better, I didn't do my homework and watch Star Trek.
Yeah, obviously.
But Terrifier starts on Halloween night. Two friends, Tara and Dawn, cross paths with a silent, sadistic clown known as Art the Clown.
Holy shit. That thing's fucking crazy.
What starts as an uncomfortable encounter at a pizza shop spirals into a brutal night of stalking and torture inside an abandoned building. Art doesn't talk, he doesn't explain, he just toys with his victims in increasingly graphic and disturbing ways.
So he doesn't say anything the whole movie?
Nope. He just smiles and...
So he's like the Ghostface killer before they reveal themselves.
Pretty much.
Okay.
There was one scene I really wanted you to see.
I will watch it. I just it was a tough week.
Yeah, yes it was.
Don't give me homework when the Patriots lose the Super Bowl. Just don't do that, all right?
I was trying to get your mind off of it. Make you feel better.
Didn't work.
Alright. As the body count rises, the film leans heavily into practical gore effects and shock value. Even when it seems like a nightmare is over, Art presence lingers in a way that sets up the franchise's continuation. Terrifier became infamous for the extreme violence and practical effects, helping launch Art the Clown into modern horror icon status.
All right. So, overall with this film, what is your favorite? Before we get into the like Killer Keep, what attracts you to this horror film? Because obviously you're a diehard horror film critic or fan, whatever you want to call yourself. Maybe even an enthusiast. What is like your favorite take on this film? Really, is it the imagery of the main character, or is it the way they set up the entire film?
The way they set up the entire film, it's a lot of it's the extreme gore and the messed up kills. it's one I'll watch a lot, but it's background noise.
Right. Like, so for me, background noise is like Scream, because Scream's never been like crazy. Well, actually, I should hold off saying this, but Scream's original movies, never been crazy over the top graphic to me. I think that newer Screams are more graphic than they were in the past.
Yeah,
But with this one, do you put this on the level of like a Saw, where it's like they're just
almost torture porn type thing.
yeah.
Yeah. The one scene I wanted you to watch, if you care if I spoil it or not,
No, yeah, go ahead, knock it out.
is he has a chick hanging up upside down naked
Oh my god.
and just saws her in half with her handsaw,
No shit.
just smiling at her friend Tara that's tied up.
Yeah, I don't see, those are some horror fucking flick shit. Like that's some shit I don't normally get into. The horror films I've picked are actually remotely tame. And actually, it's actually funny to think about it too. When we were growing up in the 90s, I was like scared of Freddy Krueger when I was a child. And to think about those films nowadays, they're like so yo gabba gabba compared to what horror films are nowadays. Like, you're talking about a whole nother level of like violence and gore than you ever saw before. But
Like
so
became so popular, they had his own house at Halloween Horror Nights.
all right, without disrespect to anybody, would you like to mention who put you on to Terrifier?
Hmm.
You don't even know, do you?
No.
You just found it randomly?
Yeah. No. It was talked about in the horror podcast I listened to, but I don't know
Okay.
what one. And then I pushed it off for a while. I'm like, really didn't want to move for torture porn.
Yeah, didn't want to move towards torture porn.
But
Hey,
once I watched them, I'm like, all right, it's
so here's the thing. Like, I'm gonna watch it, but my point of being is like, all right, so the two most uncomfortable, what I'll say, horror type like content I've watched recently are not considered horror for some reason. I don't understand why, but they're series. I watched Ed Gein and I watched the Jeffrey Dahmer series, and those series alone made me feel more uncomfortable as a human being than anything I've watched in literally years, like more than years. Those are series that really make you literally uncomfortable. So I guess my final question for you is, before we get to Kill or Keep, is do you feel like this makes you so uncomfortable that you, like, some people won't be able to stomach it?
I believe some people won't. Me doesn't really bother me. The more stuff, especially now that I have kids, that get to me are like home invasion.
Things like that. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Okay. All right, so I guess that's everybody's homework for this week. Everyone has to go watch Terrifier, the first one. How many are there?
There's 3. The fourth one's gonna be releasing this year, next year.
Oh
Like
shit! So they're coming out with the 4th. Okay. So this has that audience. Damn, that's crazy.
This Terrifier started off as a short film, and art became so popular that they turned it into a whole series.
Jesus, that's crazy.
It's one of Rhea Ripley's favorite movies.
Rhea Ripley, shout out.
At Silver Screen Con, she was there taking photos with the director and the actor who plays Art the Clown.
Got a Rhea Ripley name drop on the pod. I like that. All right, so Kill or Keep?
Let's do it.
Kill or Keep?
All right, since you haven't seen it,
No. I'm doing it.
I know that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, since I haven't seen it, I gotta give you the kill of the keep this week because you're gonna have to make those decisions. So we're gonna go right into it. Art of the clown as a villain in this movie, The Terrifier.
Keep creepy, silent, and uniquely expressive. Ugh, can't speak today.
So overall, can I ask you this?
No, you can't.
Versus a lot of, because in horror there's a lot of clowns. Where would you rank this on your most favorite clowns?
I'll rank it number 2 after Killer Clowns. Nah, 3, because I put Pennywise right above the 1980s.
Okay. So practical gore effects.
Keep.
Would you kill or keep?
Keep it. Who wouldn't love? Who doesn't love practical effects?
I don't know. For me personally, if it's too much, I don't know. Kind of gets ridiculous, but
All digital effects sometimes go overboard.
yeah. But with all that said, you would still keep?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Story depth. Would you kill or keep?
Kill. There's not really much story to it. It's very thin. It's mostly shock driven. It's just a kill fest.
Yeah, so all right. So you say that, but then the next category is you say it's mostly shock driven, but what's the shock factor? Is that kill or keep?
That's up for debate. It's impressive, excessive, and dependent on your taste. Like, I know I'm a lot more into horror than you are, so I think you might not enjoy it. I don't think you're into that type of horror. I don't think you're into that type of shock factor.
I can get coerced into it. I think like a great example is like I'm a diehard Freddy Krueger fan, but when you go to Freddy vs. Jason, I thought the gore was like amped up a lot. I didn't think it was that necessary, but because it was also combining Nightmare on Elm Street with Friday the 13th, I think that's why they had to make it that gory.
Yeah.
So because you're kind of combining two different franchises into one. So I kind of dealt with it. But yeah, there are some movies I've seen where I'm like just feeling like they can go over the top. And yeah, I think you're right. I think it depends on taste. I don't think it really.
Terrifier is definitely one that goes a little
too far.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll keep that in mind, but I'll definitely watch it. I'll make sure I watch it.
They're fun movies to watch.
But all right. Well, speaking of watching, final kill or keep take for the night of this of Terrifier. The rewatchability. What do you think? Is it kill or keep?
Again, that's another debate. Like for me, I've watched it multiple times. I've watched all 3 of them multiple times. But I'm also a diehard, as you can tell.
Yes.
Someone like you, clean, a normie, probably once or twice.
Yep.
But
okay. Well, we're at the final minute of the pod, so it works out. So the final call of the entire movie. Would you kill or keep the movie?
Keep it if you're into the hardcore grindhouse style of horror. It's definitely one to keep.
All right, and with that being said, let's do this. You rank. You watch a lot of horror. You got your diehard favorites. Where would you rank the Terrifier on your most popular, like your most favorite horror films of all time. Yeah, you got to think about that one. I got you, motherfucker. I got you.
It does not make my top 10 of the all-time favorite.
It won't make your top 10.
But it's right.
Will it make your top 20?
It'll make the top 20.
Top 15? Not sure. Okay, that's all we need to know.
I have to actually think about that one.
Yeah, you have to make a new list after that. Yeah, I got you. I got you on that, brother. I got you on that. Oh, shit. All right. So, shout out to everybody that was in chat today. I appreciate everybody. Toshio, obviously a big contributor to the podcast itself. Thank you to our new correspondent, Tosh. I don't even know if you're still here, but appreciate you being here to help us with the sports NBA jump through. The segment won't be that long for sports going forward. We're just trying to set up our new correspondents. But shout out to Toshio for being here and being the newest member of the team. Shout out to Super Freak. Shout out to Geo, Goblin Gaming. We also had Kickin', Ryan Lenny, Strange Dabs. We had From the Dungeon and Famcast all in chats. Appreciate everybody. If I forgot anyone, I apologize. But we appreciate the support we get from everybody at all times. And obviously a big shout out to our producer, Clean Sanchez Media, in the building, hiding in the background. Shout out to him as well. And shout out to you, Digz. We made it to episode 4. We got a month into this shit, so we got a whole another 11 months to go, baby. You ready to get it?
I'm ready. Remember when thinking episode 5 was a far crazy idea?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, you
can contract.
You can hit a yeah, you can talk contract. You can you can follow Digz 401, not 0, but the O on twitch.tv. You can also follow him on social media on most of your socials like Instagram, stuff like that. You can follow me, the only JM, on most socials and twitch.tv. Also on YouTube. You can also make sure you follow everything Clean Sanchez Media on YouTube and on socials, TikTok, Instagram, all that good stuff. Tomorrow morning is Friday, so tomorrow morning you're going to see Sanchez and my boy Goblin Game and Geo. They're going to be doing morning rips. Saturday afternoon around 7 p.m., you'll see BRVG with Clean Sanchez and Geo and Strange Dabs. They'll be over there. They'll be right here on Clean Sanchez Media on YouTube. And then also on Monday, DD214, Sanchez, Jay. Oh my God, I feel so bad. What's your boy's name, Sanchez? Feed it to me. Squillini. Okay, yeah, sorry. I can't believe I forgot that. Damn. Such a unique name, too. But check them out on Monday. For DD214. And then, we'll be back next Thursday right here, twitch.tv/TheOnlyJM, twitch.tv/Digz401, and YouTube at Clean Sanchez Media. And thank you, Toshio, for joining the squad.
Thank you for having me aboard, bro. I appreciate it.
No problem. All right, everybody, have a great night. Thank you for following.